So, what do you think you've learned from this week? Or what perspective have you gained?
Well, I was saying to you earlier that, so after all this temptation, you know, I went into Iceland like, right, I'm going to buy myself some really nice things to treat myself with, which is such a Western attitude already. But I walked into Iceland, and it's quite a small shop, like it isn't the most choice in the world, but, you know, it's good value and there is still loads in there. And after a week of rice and beans, it was actually a bit overwhelming, like the amount of choices. And I was like stood in front of the cakes and like stood in front of like the frozen desserts and stuff, and I was just like pacing up and down, like weaving, because I just couldn't make up my mind. But I also couldn't really work out if I actually wanted any of it or if it was too much, and it was just really, really surreal because I'm quite a decisive shopper, really. Although regarding food, my decision is normally just yes to everything. But you know, decisive.
Did it help you imagine what it's like for the people who have to eat this just every day?
Yeah, like in terms of the actual meal itself, I didn't find it as hard as you did in terms of lack of variety. Like, for example, even like a stir fry, you get bored of quite quickly because it's a similar texture, whereas that doesn't really bother me at all. So I feel like in that regard, I'm maybe more easily satisfied than you are. I do still like variety and still like a lot of food. And I didn't have like as much stomach cramps or as many stomach cramps as you did. Like I only had that once and it was really mild. And also I feel like being a girl kind of prepares you better for that.
That's true.
And I did have one spell of like a little bit of dizziness this morning, like a really small amount. But it's just that constant feeling of hunger, like sitting and eating a whole packet of rice and a whole can of beans, which is literally as much as I can fit in my body, lying on the sofa like, oh, I've eaten so much, I'm literally in pain. And then, like, lying in bed.
I hope you picked up that burp in the audio.
Shut up. Yeah, so like literally stuffing myself full and then lying in bed and being like, I'm starving hungry. And working, being like, I can't imagine it building up and like living on that for weeks and working, because it's not just in Africa this is happening. Like, this is happening in England. People are living on food like that, on minimal food. You know, in fact, my auntie was saying that actually, like, on the food banks, most weeks, that would have been like an amazing week. And I didn't even have breakfast, I only had 2 meals a day, and then tea.
Without some bittersweet, you know, you really start to feel the lack.
Yeah, you must have really been feeling it, because you're not a sugar and hot drink kind of person.
No, I mean, last night when everyone else was having like fish and chips, I did have a Coke.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Coke is available globally though.
That's what I thought, because in Tanzania, we were like, you know, eating like this kind of food all the time, but because the water's not great everywhere, everyone just drinks soft drinks. So I did get a bittersweet in there, but for the most part, I was really lacking it. Really lacking sugar, especially in the first few days.
You didn't have anywhere near as much sugar as me as well, so it's quite interesting that, I mean, I had the sugar cravings. I really wanted sugary food and I really wanted like greasy, fatty, oily food. But for you, as someone who has less sugar, then going down, but actually I think you had the sugar cravings sooner, like than I did, but that might have been because of the tea.
Might have been. I was noticing my thought pattern throughout the week was like, I just, as long as I can get to the weekend I can eat normal food again. Whereas like people who are on this diet don't necessarily have that luxury. Most of the time don't have that luxury of being like, oh, okay, on the weekend I can have whatever food I want, you know, again. It's like, I was kind of struck by that, you know, that was what was getting me through. Just the thought of like, okay, soon I can eat food that I really enjoy again. So
I think what you said is actually like twofold in that, you know, A, you've got security of knowing your next meal's coming, as well as I have better food to look forward to.
Yeah.
So that's two different things, really, isn't it? In terms of, in comparison to somebody who's living off that completely. One of the reasons I wanted us to do like a proper date night like this as well was because I was immediately like, oh, we won't go out for date night and eat, because that's what we do.
Yeah.
We have let's do the Tommy Dwell's like top 10 on TripAdvisor. Yeah. That's like our go-to date. Like, let's sit and talk about food. Let's find recipes we like. That is like us. We are foodies.
We are foodies.
We like all sorts of stuff and love going out and, you know, love cooking when we can't afford to go out.
Yeah.
So to then like imagine not only not having like food to revolve around as like a couple in that kind of existence, but like not even other activities that aren't necessarily our default, but you know, like we've talked about going bowling for ages. Like there's so much to do around here that we're almost like a bit lost in it all. Whereas they wouldn't have any of that, like those shared experiences. So I think that really struck me, even though we've only just got scheduled date night.
All dressed up, got a candle.
And nowhere to go. Because none of them will serve us food we can have. I've been craving food, so I don't actually normally eat that much. So I'm a McDonald's and ice cream kind of girl, you know, like that is my go-to, and like lots of chocolate. But those are like my standard things, and crisps. So basically all the unhealthy things.
Yeah.
But there are more unhealthy foods than that in the world that I like, but I don't like actively always go and get. It's sort of like if I've already had McDonald's, for example, then I'll go to another chain that I still like, but it isn't in the same place as McDonald's. But I was really craving fried chicken all week, and I don't know if that's because on like day 2 I saw a video of like a giant chicken like fried steak that was like dripping with oil, and I was just like, oh, that's what I want to eat so badly.
I didn't know I wanted that.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know that I wanted this until this exact moment. So maybe that's why. And then at work, we've had like a couple of birthdays and people leaving and things like that. So there was one of these like, you know, like tray bakes that you sort of get from Tesco that I'm not really that big on because I'm just really fussy about cake. They're really, really fussy. But I mean, a good strong mug of tea, and you know, you can get through it and it's worth it. But I wanted it like actively, instead of it just being like, oh well, there's free cake that I don't have to pay for and I've got a cup of tea, so it's fine. Like, you know, like complimenting the cup of tea, instead I was like, that cake. So it like completely changed.
Yeah.
We just want to say thank you to everyone who has sponsored us, so we're gonna go through.
Yeah, you're gonna get named and famed.
Named and famed.
Gareth and Mary, thank you so much for the amazing donation. That is huge.
Lisa, thank you so much for donating and gift aiding, and for sharing the post the other day as well. I'm sure that really, really helped. Thank you.
And thank you also to the Quos and to Jake. Thank you so much for your donations. They're really appreciated. Thank you to Anonymous. I'm assuming not Anonymous from 4chan or like the hackers. Anyway,
They're trying
more
to
Anonymous.
improve their karma.
Oh no, that Anonymous is Laura. Okay, Laura, Dylan and Leah. Okay,
Yes,
thank you so much.
Laura, Dylan and Leah. Mwah, thank you for donating.
Thank you, Lynn, and for the amazing donation. That's really good. Really appreciate that. And thank you, Mum. Mum's message. I offered you guys £100 not to do it, but since you want to do it the hard way, yeah. Thanks, Mum.
I did consider buying Ross vitamins to help get him through this, if that helps, Claire.
Nearly made it. Anyway, thank you so much. We broke our goal, £120. Awesome. If you want to, you can keep donating. I don't know when's the cut-off.
I have no idea.
Oh, no idea. So you better donate soon, so that it doesn't get cut off. All right. Thank you so much.
Wow, the beans have definitely got your head.
Yeah. Donate for Tearfund. They're doing an amazing job, and we really want to support them. So thank you so much for your donations already. And if you want to, then please do donate.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. This is our celebration of having completed the week.
Look at the size of that pancake. That is mostly cake.
Yeah.
That filled the pan.